Welcome back, listeners. Today, we'll be diving deep into big and bold strength training for the plus-size woman. Mort Summers really tackles a topic we don't see enough of.
I think what really struck me was Summer's focus on dispelling common myths surrounding fitness for plus-size women. It's so refreshing.
Like how she encourages shifting the focus away from weight loss as the primary goal.
Exactly. She emphasizes celebrating what our bodies can do and the strength we can build no matter our size.
I was particularly drawn to how she challenges the idea that strength training makes women bulky, which I know a lot of us have heard.
Right. She argues that building muscle actually leads to a more toned physique. It helps address those fears many women have about lifting weights.
And she really debunks those myths by providing practical guidance for creating workout plans that align with individual needs and goals, so it's not one size fits all.
I think her emphasis on modifications for plus-size women is really important too, recognizing our bodies might require different techniques or equipment.
Her tip about using a Smith machine for push-ups, for instance, it can provide more stability when starting out. Did you have any other favorite tips she offered on technique or exercise modifications?
Oh, definitely. For squats, she advises paying attention to stance width, which is so important.
Ah, makes sense. Wider stance for larger thighs helps ensure good form.
Exactly. And keeping those knees aligned with your toes to avoid strain.
She's big on proper form to prevent injuries. Speaking of which, she also talks about periodization, which can be kind of intimidating for some people.
It can sound complicated, but she explains it really well. Basically, it's a strategic approach to planning workouts in cycles.
So varying intensity and exercises over time.
Yes, to avoid plateaus and prevent overuse injuries. Keeps your body challenged in a healthy way. She even gives examples of workout schedules incorporating those principles.
I appreciated her insights on choosing the right workout clothes, like finding supportive leggings that don't roll down during squats.
Oh, absolutely. Those practical considerations are so important and often overlooked. And she carries that attention to detail over to equipment as well, emphasizing prioritizing natural strength and grip before relying on things like weight belts or gloves.
Didn't she advise against lifting shoes for beginners?
She did. She suggests focusing on ankle mobility instead of external support. It's all about developing a deeper understanding of how our bodies move.
And that philosophy extends to her approach to nutrition too, right?
Absolutely. She advocates for a balanced whole food approach, fueling those workouts with nutritious choices.
And debunking that myth that you need protein powder for gains.
So important. She stresses consistent, balanced nutrition from whole foods instead.
It ties into her emphasis on mental strength and having a positive mindset too.
Absolutely. She challenges us to confront negative self-talk and build self-worth.
It's incredibly powerful how she shares her own struggles with exercise. Her journey from dreading physical activity to finding joy in movement is really inspiring.
It is, and she includes stories from other plus-size women like Maria de Mesa, a competitive powerlifter who found empowerment through strength training.
Shows how transformative this can be. It goes far beyond physical changes.
Definitely. Strength training can build confidence, resilience, and self-acceptance. It challenges those societal norms and shows that strength has so many forms.
Well, speaking of societal norms, can you tell us a little more about the misinformation and prejudice that plus-size women face in the fitness world? What were some of the examples that Summers shared?
Oh, she talks about being underestimated and judged based on her size despite her expertise, people making dismissive comments, and just not believing in her capabilities.
It's frustrating how often people assume that all plus-size individuals are only working out for weight loss. They completely ignore the diverse motivations people have for pursuing strength training.
Exactly. It highlights the need for more inclusive fitness spaces, ones that prioritize body positivity and cater to a wider range of needs.
So how does Summers suggest we navigate those challenges? How do we find an environment where we can truly thrive?
She recommends seeking out gyms that are body positive and welcoming to all fitness levels, finding trainers who understand the unique strengths and challenges of working with plus-size women.
That's so important, advocating for yourself and finding a supportive community.
Absolutely. We all deserve to feel comfortable and empowered throughout our fitness journey.
And part of that empowerment comes from finding your why, right? Setting those realistic goals to stay motivated.
Definitely. She encourages us to look beyond societal pressures or weight loss goals and really explore our personal motivations, whether that's improving mobility, boosting energy, or feeling more confident.
So it's about connecting with our own internal drive.
Exactly. Summers also emphasizes the importance of setting achievable goals that fit into our individual lifestyles.
Tuning out all that external noise and focusing on what truly matters to us.
Exactly. Her approach is all about transforming lives, building self-worth, and recognizing the incredible potential we all have.
It's a powerful reminder that strength training can be a catalyst for so much positive change, both physically and mentally.
And she reminds us to celebrate all those changes, no matter how small they seem. It's about progress, not perfection.
It's a message we can all take to heart. I'm really excited to dive deeper into her advice on building a workout plan and mastering those essential techniques.
So let's get into the nitty-gritty of actually building a workout routine. Summers really emphasizes that strong foundation.
Bodyweight exercises before jumping into the heavy stuff.
Exactly. Mastering the basics first, she recommends those classic movements: squats, lunges, push-ups, planks.
Those are great for a full body workout when you do them right.
Absolutely. And she provides modifications for beginners, which is so helpful.
So like hands elevated planks or kneeling push-ups instead of the full version.
Exactly. You're still working those key muscle groups. It allows you to build up strength and confidence before tackling harder variations.
I love that idea of meeting yourself where you are, gradually increasing the challenge. It's empowering to realize fitness isn't about forcing yourself into a mold.
It's about finding what works for your body. And Summers really encourages that personalized approach, which I think is fantastic. That extends to equipment too, right? Like starting with those simpler tools.
Like resistance bands and dumbbells, they're versatile and you can use them anywhere.
You can use them at home or even when you're traveling. It makes strength training much more accessible, which is fantastic. She also talks about those fitness accessories, reminds us that building natural strength should come first.
Before relying on things like weight belts and lifting gloves.
Precisely. It's about connecting with your body and developing your own inherent strength. And, she even challenges some traditional thinking, like with lifting shoes.
Right, she actually advises against them for beginners.
Instead of relying on that external support, she suggests focusing on ankle mobility.
Building a solid foundation from the ground up.
Exactly, and it encourages a better understanding of movement, no quick fixes.
That's really valuable, especially for anyone new to all this. It can feel overwhelming with all the equipment and information out there. Summers does a great job of breaking it down.
Oh, absolutely. Like with workout structure, she explains those terms: reps, sets, tempo. It helps you approach everything with more confidence because you actually understand what's going on.
Kind of like having a personal trainer right there in your pocket. But then she gets into periodization, which can sound pretty complicated.
It can seem daunting, but she breaks it down beautifully. She explains that it's about cycling through different training phases, varying the intensity and exercises over time.
To avoid plateaus and prevent injuries, right?
Precisely. It helps to keep your body challenged, but in a good way. And the best part is she gives concrete examples.
So you can actually see how to put it into practice.
Exactly. Sample workout schedules that show you how to integrate periodization into a real routine, whether you're training a few days a week or squeezing in shorter workouts here and there.
I like that she keeps it real. She gets how busy life can be.
Absolutely. And she never forgets about rest and recovery. She stresses how important that is.
Which can be tough to remember. There's so much pressure these days to push yourself to the limit all the time.
Summers reminds us that rest is not a sign of weakness. It's crucial for muscle growth and preventing injuries. It's about listening to your body.
And giving it the time it needs to recover. I love that. So does she actually lay out specific workouts in the book?
Oh, she does. She includes sample routines for different levels, from beginner to advanced, so it's a great starting point. But she also emphasizes personalizing them.
Ah, so you don't have to follow them exactly. You can tailor them to your own needs.
Exactly. If a barbell squat is too much, maybe you try a goblet squat instead, something that feels better for your body right now. It goes back to that idea of modifications, which we talked about earlier.
So those modifications aren't just for squats, right? There are adjustments for other exercises too.
Definitely. Like for push-ups, she recommends the Smith machine because it offers more stability, especially if you're just starting out.
Makes sense. Any others that come to mind?
Oh, sure. For lunges, you might adjust your stance to find what's most comfortable for your hips. It's all about listening to your body. Don't push through pain. It's about working with your body, not against it.
I love that she frames it that way. It takes the pressure off. So much of fitness can feel like a competition, even with yourself, but she encourages exploration.
Absolutely. Curiosity and finding what feels good in your own body. And she brings in her own experiences, which makes it even more relatable.
It helps to hear those personal stories. It reminds you that it's a journey, and everyone has their own struggles.
Exactly. It makes it feel real. And she also emphasizes finding a supportive community.
I think that's so crucial, especially for people who might feel intimidated by the gym. Finding those like-minded folks can make such a difference.
Whether it's a workout buddy, an online group, or a fitness class, sharing that experience can help keep you motivated and on track. Plus, Summers acknowledges those emotional aspects of fitness.
Like body image concerns and self-doubt, those are real struggles.
She talks about it openly, which is so refreshing. It validates those feelings, especially in a culture that's so focused on looks.
And she's incredibly vulnerable in sharing her own experiences with negative self-talk and body image.
It normalizes those feelings and reminds us to be kind to ourselves. be compassionate.
That message of self-acceptance is so important. It's woven throughout the whole book.
It's about recognizing that your worth isn't tied to your size or shape. Everybody deserves to be celebrated.
So how do we overcome those mental hurdles? What does she recommend?
She reminds us that it's okay to have bad days. Setbacks happen. It's about focusing on progress, not perfection, and challenging those negative thoughts.
Replacing them with positive affirmations. Reminding yourself of what you can do.
It's about changing that internal dialogue from criticism to encouragement, recognizing what your body is capable of.
It sounds like a real mindset shift. And that's so essential for making this whole fitness thing sustainable and enjoyable.
Exactly. It's not about punishing yourself or striving for some impossible ideal. It's about honoring your body, being grateful for what it can do.
And Summers really emphasizes that idea of celebrating those little victories, acknowledging every step you take.
Focusing on what you can achieve rather than dwelling on what you perceive as flaws, it's so empowering.
I love that perspective. It sounds like her approach goes way beyond just the physical aspects of fitness.
It's about personal growth and self-love. It's about recognizing that true strength comes from within.
Adds that our bodies are powerful tools for positive change. That's a beautiful message to carry with us, even outside the gym. So what about nutrition? How does Summers approach that?
Oh, that's a great question. It's a really important part of her holistic approach to strength training, especially for plus-size women. Let's explore that next.
As we wrap up our deep dive into Big and Bold, one thing that stands out is how Summers blends practical fitness advice with really insightful commentary on self-acceptance. She challenges those societal norms in a way that feels really empowering.
Her approach is definitely holistic. It's not just about the physical stuff. She really gets into mental resilience and building a healthy relationship with your body.
And she doesn't shy away from those emotional challenges that plus-size women often face in the fitness world, which can be intimidating, like those pressures to conform to certain ideals.
She calls it like it is, talking about body image and the unrealistic beauty standards that are everywhere. It's validating to hear her acknowledge those struggles and offer real guidance.
It's all about recognizing the inherent beauty and strength we have, regardless of size or shape. And I think Simmer's own journey really drives that point home.
It's inspiring to hear about her evolution. She went from dreading exercise to embracing it. You can tell she's found real empowerment in pushing her own boundaries.
And her willingness to be so vulnerable and honest about her experiences makes it even more powerful. It reminds us that everyone faces those internal struggles, even people who seem so confident and accomplished.
She makes it feel so relatable. It's refreshing. And beyond the personal stories, she gives us really practical tips for navigating the fitness world. Everything from finding the right gym to choosing supportive workout clothes.
I remember her talking about finding leggings that don't roll down during squats, which is a constant battle for me.
It's those little details that show she really understands the practical challenges that plus-size women face. And that extends to her advice on technique, too.
Making sure we can approach strength training safely and effectively.
Exactly. She gives really clear instructions and modifications that are tailored for plus-size bodies.
And I love how she emphasizes that those modifications are not a sign of weakness. They're about working with your body where it's at, honoring your own capabilities.
It's about finding that balance, right? Starting slowly and gradually increasing the challenge as your body gets stronger.
No need to push yourself to the limit right away. It's a journey.
And it's about celebrating all those little wins along the way.
Finding that support system is huge too.
Absolutely. Having a workout buddy or finding an online community or even joining a fitness class can make such a difference. It helps to know you're not alone in this.
Summers' book really is so much more than just a fitness guide. It's a celebration of body positivity and resilience. She really encourages us to embrace our bodies, challenge those limiting beliefs, and find strength in ourselves.
Her message is powerful. It's never too late to start, and you are capable of so much more than you think.
Well, before we go, I thought it would be helpful to give our listeners a quick recap of the key takeaways from Big and Bold, sort of a roadmap for their own strength training adventures.
I love that idea. Let's break it down into 10 main points.
Okay, here we go. Number 1, focus on strength over size. Shift your focus away from weight loss and celebrate what your body can do. Number 2, embrace body positivity. Appreciate your body at every stage. Your birth isn't defined by your size. Number 3, remember mental fortitude. Strength training builds inner strength and resilience too. Number 4, ditch the idea of perfection. Aim for progress, not some impossible ideal. Celebrate every step you take. Number 5, honor your individual journey. Set realistic goals that fit your life. It's not about comparing yourself to others. Number 6, be critical of what you hear about fitness and body image. Don't buy into all the hype and societal expectations. Number 7, discover your why. Figure out what truly motivates you to move your body and get stronger. Number 8, start gradually. Don't go all out right away. Build up your strength and endurance over time. Number 8, prioritize proper form. Make adjustments to exercises as needed. And remember, modifications are your friend. And number 10, embrace the process. Enjoy the journey, celebrate the small wins, and appreciate what your body can do.
It's a lot to take in, but those 10 points really capture the essence of Summer's message.
She's given us so much to think about. And ultimately, it's up to each of us to take this knowledge and create a fitness journey that brings us joy and helps us discover our full potential. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into Big and Bold. Remember, you are strong, capable, and worthy.